These are the best of the best. They are the top of the line, the fastest, strongest, and most meticulous athletes in the world. But when all that talent and hard work isn't enough to get them to the top anymore, they end up cheating their way up. Get ready, because today we're talking about 10 athletes that got caught cheating. Today's video is a doozy, so let's start right away with number 10. Orna Enderlin, Grenoble 1968. Germany has always been known for its incredibly talented women's luge team because they've almost always dominated the scene. They have proven time and time again that they're amongst the best in the field, but that wasn't necessarily what they were known for in the past, specifically after the event in '68. It all started as a normal Olympic event as the match began and the East German team won gold easily. As soon as they won, however, their competition noticed how they immediately got up and started walking away before they could even be interviewed. To get to the bottom of it, the competition inspected their sleds a bit and quickly found out that they had been heating up their rails, making their sleds faster. Number 9. Boris Honorchenko, Monorail 1976. The saddest part about this story is the fact that Boris had proven in the past that he was good enough to win without cheating. But as it turns out, Boris didn't think that he had what it took to make it to the winning side anymore, so instead of taking his loss like a man, he opted for the loser's way, using a modified sword during his fencing bout, which made it so that he was awarded points even if he hadn't made contact with the opponent. This in itself is a horrifying advantage, as fencing is all about making the tip of your sword make contact with your opponent. And what's worse is that despite having this unfair advantage, Boris only won by a single point. He was subsequently disqualified from the competition, and what's even worse about it is that he was also stripped of all his previous medals, and they made it so that he could never compete professionally in fencing ever again. Number 8. Madeline DeJesus, Los Angeles 1984. This whole fiasco stemmed from the fact that Madeline DeJesus had suffered a very bad hamstring injury as she took part in the long jump event at the Los Angeles Games. She was so badly wounded that she couldn't continue competing anymore. After that, her dream would end up there because of that injury. She decided to cheat the system by having her twin sister make the jump for her. The two swapped out and eventually won, but their coach told on them and essentially got them disqualified because of it. Number 7. Ben Johnson, Seoul 1988. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Definitely perfectly describes Ben Johnson's controversies over the years. He won the men's 100-meter sprint back in the 80s, only to soon be cut using steroids to enhance his abilities. Because of this, he was removed from the event, and he subsequently lost his medal altogether. He came back to compete in 1993 until he got caught again using steroids to try to get to the top again. As you can already tell by now, because he hadn't learned his lesson, the committee decided that he needed a rougher punishment, so they promptly banned him for life, making it so that he could never compete in any Olympic event anymore, even if it were to change to a different sport altogether. Number 6. Marion Jones, Sydney 2000. The funniest part about Marion Jones's case is that she got away with it. She was in the clear. She won 2 bronze and 3 gold medals in total during the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, and she passed all drug tests. It didn't stop there though, as a lot more people were accusing her of using steroids back then than ever before. As people started forgetting about it, however, she turned a complete 180 and decided to admit randomly in 2007 that she had used steroids all along. Because of this, she lost all of her medals, and she received a 2-year ban from competing, alongside a neat little 6 months in prison. People are still baffled at the stupidity of getting away with murder only to telling herself when people stop investigating it. Number 5. The South Korean, Indonesian, and Chinese badminton teams, London 2012. Their plan was simple. They wanted to lose their first few matches so that they'd be put in the losers bracket where they would eventually win their way to the top and skip over playing the best teams in the world, only having to face one in the finals. So the 8 women literally started missing every shot, hitting the net, or just blowing it out of proportion by hitting the ball wide so that they could lose in a matter of minutes. This didn't work out for them as they were soon disqualified by the board and promptly booed off of the pitch because of their blatant disrespect for the sport. Number 4. Cameron Vanderburg, London 2012. It must feel amazing to literally break world records as you take that gold medal, but apparently it doesn't feel that great when you know you've cheated your way to the top. That's right, that's exactly what happened to Cameron Vanderburg back in 2012 when he admitted live on TV that he took extra dolphin kicks to propel himself forward to the point where his competition literally couldn't keep up with him anymore. In case you didn't know by now, technically the swimmers are allowed 1 kick, but any more than that usually results in a warning, then in disqualification. Although they didn't take away his medal, they did nullify his world record from the books. Number 3. Dong Fashao, Sydney 2000. The saddest part about Dong Fashao's case is that it's not even her fault here. The fault is actually right on her team's coach that decided to take her in the first place. That's right, in case you didn't know, gymnasts are usually very young because that's when they're the best at their sport. The younger they are, the better they usually do. But even so, there is an age limit that needs to be passed for the athletes to compete. The judges soon realized that Dong Faoxiao wasn't of age when they saw that she wasn't born in 1983, but 1986 instead. This means that she was only 14 years old when she was live on camera, winning her bronze medal. Because of this, she was forced to give up her medal and she was banned for life from taking part in any other Olympic event. Number 2. Park Si-hoon, Seoul, 1988. Boxing will forever be known for the fact that a lot of the matches played out there have been purposefully orchestrated to end a certain way. Essentially, they have been rigged from the start. And this is exactly what happened back in the late 80s when Park Si-hoon had a horrible performance against Roy Jones Jr. And yet he was still crowned champion by the end of the match. After a thorough investigation, the detectives realized the fact that 3 of the 5 judges that voted for Si-hoon to be the winner had been wined and dined by Korean officials only a couple of weeks before the event. While Si-hoon did get to keep his title, the judges were suspended and banned for life from even being a part of a boxing event again. Number 1. Brian Cushing, USC, 2010. Brian Cushing used to be known for the fact that despite not having the best body structure, he was still a force to be reckoned with, until 2009 came about. This is when he came up and nobody recognized him because of how much bigger he was. Soon after he won the title of the Rookie of the Year, and before long, he also tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. He was suspended for the rest of the games of the 2010 season, but the USC still got to keep their title despite the fact that they only won because of Cushing. That just comes to show you that cheaters never win. Which of these cases would you say is the most satisfying to hear about? We honestly love it how the badminton teams were booed off the pitch for trying to cheat their way to the top. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Also, be sure to click on the recommended videos on the left and right side of the screen for more awesome content from us. See ya!